mean like post a link in the
Hello.
post a link in the Hangouts or
Yeah, in this Hangout chat. Yep.
oh yeah, I can do that.
What the fuck? I still an error. Please try again in a few moments. What the fuck?
What happened?
No, on my laptop, the Hangouts went out for some
Oh
reason.
shit, bro. You just not having a good day with your
No,
technology.
not at all, bro. Not at
God
all.
damn, man. It's that guy from Trinidad. He put voodoo on your shit.
Right, fucking.
He's like, we respect Africa.
but
Nigga
but
was
but
yelling.
but I'm also Aboriginal though. I'm also
Right.
Aboriginal. Goof ass.
We respect Africa because you do not know.
Right, but I'm Aboriginal though.
But
Fucking
you
goofy.
Aboriginal, like, so you're disrespecting Africa by even saying that shit to begin with. You're saying you're Aboriginal to the Caribbean. So how do you account your African DNA for that? Like, what is that to? And are
Right.
Europeans African too? If everybody's African, like, so then what should be Europeans? Like,
Yeah.
like I mean, I don't get the thought process.
Goofy, that's what it is. Fucking moron.
This shit. Um, so we're live right now.
No, not yet. I had that little technical difficulty, so I'm trying to log back in. And then I'm gonna copy and paste the link and we should be
Man,
good
these
to go.
niggas, whole ass bitch ass niggas like Kundalini talking about what you call it, that we have fucking fake profiles. Nigga, we have fake profiles because you bitches keep fucking flagging our shit because you can't handle it when you're getting totally
Right.
smacked.
And they're not fake profiles when they're well, I'm me personally, I put I let niggas know it's me, so it's not like I'm I'm hiding from the fact that I'm on the same is the same person that been had the Humbalam account. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, no, my ass
I
is the
let them know
gang.
that
I like
it's
playing with
me.
them. So I like
Yeah,
trolling them. I'll be the first one to be like, I troll you bitches, and I have no problem trolling you bitches. I let you know when it's me when I feel like it, and when I feel like trolling trolls, you guys gonna think I'm somebody else, and then you gonna get mad and you gonna report my shit again. But it's okay, I'll be back.
well,
I
yeah.
don't give a fuck. I like trolling.
There's that, but also it's just an alternative account for me, and yet, I mean, he was still calling me out on it, and yet, but his bitch he got like three as well. So what the
Yeah,
fuck
he
is
has
his
four
point?
different fucking accounts, pretty much.
The fuck is
So
his
it's like,
point? Fucking dumbass.
it's like, bro, it's people from the side that you co-sign flagging my shit. Like Marcus Bay, because I fucking humiliated him. He flagged
Yeah,
my shit, and he told me he flagged my shit. He's not even making it up. He said he did, but now he's on
yeah,
vacation, so I hope he enjoys his vacation. That's why he's been quiet.
yeah.
I don't report niggas
Pussies.
unless niggas report me,
Yeah.
because I don't have to. With my intellect, I know how to smack you bitches alone, so I don't have to do all that. But you hoes want to be reporting fucking profiles and then wonder why niggas have so many profiles. Stop reporting shit.
Yeah.
Fucking niggas report more than fucking Interpol and then want to say we're the agents.
Yeah. We're live now, bro.
Yo, what's up, you bitch ass albums?
Where you at, Abos?
You bitch ass albums. All of you niggas bitches. All of y'all. Straight
Yeah.
hoes.
But if y'all want to join us and get this work,
Come get
catch
it.
these,
Come
catch
get
these, these intellectual hands.
it. Get these hands,
Okay.
son. Get these hands.
And best believe it will be the same fucking deal in person, so don't get it fucked up.
Don't
Don't
ever
get
get
it twisted.
Don't ever get it fucked up. You motherfuckers be acting like, oh, because we have these profiles and shit, that you won't get fucked up in person. Don't ever get it twisted. Like, we're about the intellectual game, but you cross that threshold, you will get your ass handled.
Yeah.
Don't ever get it twisted. Like, you niggas think that niggas ain't got money to travel. Like, come on now. I want Rashay to come on this shit. I want him to explain himself.
Yeah, well, we you added him to the chat, right? So
Yep, I added him to the chat. I don't know if you'll be able to send an invite though, like on like the Facebook Live, like tag him in it. Oh, you can't. He's not your friend on this, right?
yeah, no, he's
Um,
not Facebook, but Lika is. sharing this in the group as we speak. So hopefully he's able to see it on there.
Yeah, so you can
I,
have.
I did title it "Dick Riders of Wannabe Native Americans," so he should
I ain't see that
he should
shit.
know. He
Yo.
should know it's about him.
Let me see. Yeah, we are live in the group. And you did title that shit.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Native American, son. Yo, they did homie wrong. This dude. I ain't gonna lie, it was funny as shit. They're like, why Christopher Columbus is in the group?
You said what?
They said, why is Christopher Columbus in the
group? Oh, I saw that. I'm sorry, big bro, but
damn,
they got you on that
I know
one.
he has indigenous ancestry. He's a fellow,
Yeah, he is. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Right.
So I'm like, damn, how you gonna say he looks like Christopher Columbus? Y'all niggas ain't shit. Y'all gonna God, let us take one of y'all shits and compare it to some fucking like spider monkey. You guys are gonna get mad.
Right. But fuck, bro. For whatever reason, hold on. God damn it. For whatever reason, like on my laptop, it keeps kicking me out off of Google Hangouts for some reason. So it means that like every time it kicks me out, the live stream goes out.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, it keeps on kicking me out, man. I don't know how to. Yeah, like the whole window actually is fucked up. I'm gonna have to restart this again.
Yeah. So like refresh your page or something.
God damn it. We're gonna have to start this all over again. I just gotta make sure. Hold on 1 second. Switch accounts.
I have to make a fucking new page because these bitch ass fucking albums.
Bitch ass apples, hoe ass niggas.
Little dick ass bitch ass niggas. Like y'all some hoe ass faggots, man. Like y'all can't handle being destroyed intellectually. So you feel like it's so stupid. Like we're coming back. So why even bother? Go through, reporting profiles and all this shit. Like, nigga, just take your L. Be a man, son.
Take your L, bitch. Take your L.
Take your fucking L. Like, y'all a bunch of fucking hoes with big ass ovaries. Y'all got bigger ovaries than my sister. Shout out to sis. But, but damn, man. Like, y'all niggas act like I have a pair. It's crazy. Be on some soft ass shit. It's annoying.
God damn it. All right, hold on.
Yo, I was looking into that Proton Mail shit, and it's good, but it's not it's not what I thought it would have.
What's that?
Like, it doesn't let you make like a business account. I thought
it that Proton email? Yeah,
like I use it because I can make so many, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't.
God damn it. Hold on 1 second, real quick.
You're gonna have to tell like baby bro to get off Call of Duty. Be like, get the fuck off Call of Duty, son. Shit. I never knew what it was to have like a little brother and shit, because I'm like the baby in the family.
Yeah.
So, but I always wish I had one.
You're how older is your sister from you?
Well, this is the thing. Like my sis, we don't.
Like, did she used to bully you when you were little?
Like,
did she used to pick on you? Usually big brothers do that, but if it's a big sis, I'm sure the dynamic wouldn't be so different.
Right. No. But nah. Like my sister, she know better. Fuck out of here. I will throw her inside my closet. Love you, sis. She'll tell you I am the biggest fucking troll. Like, I came out my mom's vagina a troll, son. Like, like I am the embodiment of everything that's being a troll. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if anything, like I was always the man of the house, bro.
Okay. Okay.
So I tell these women,
Shit. Do you see on your screen if my second account fucking joined? You able to see that?
oh, you mean like okay? Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah. Oh, your second.
Um.
Wait,
No, wait a minute. What the fuck? I can't
wait. You're
even
on
see it.
twice, but
I'm on twice, right?
yeah, you're
Yeah,
on twice, but on your first account.
on my first account.
Yeah, like were you trying to go on the what is it that it starts with a C? That other one? That's what you were trying to do?
I'm trying to. Yeah, yeah. My crypto.
The crypto shit, that thing.
Yeah, crypto gamble is what it's
Yeah,
called.
no,
So
it's the other one, the IOTA.
yeah, IOTA. Yeah, see, that's fucked up. Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna have to exit that. And then
Oh man, I'm tired.
yeah, what the fuck? Okay, so crypto, motherfucking.
My phone died. Hey, puppy. Hey, little doggy. Hey, hello. You gotta get his ass some dog food tomorrow.
God damn it, man. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
No, no, no. Yeah, no. I was just testing the mic to see if I could hear it on my browser, but it's the same shit. Like I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
I think you're gonna have to. You're having the same problem I had. I think you're gonna have to just restart your computer.
Really? Okay, that
You,
might be it. Let me restart the shits. Joseph shared it, so I hope he should know that we're on here. Hopefully, he can join us.
oh, he shared it
Well, initially, yeah,
because I got out of my.
when we were on it, um, he shared into another group.
Hold on.
This some bullshit, and you already we've been live as far as
On Google Hangouts, yeah,
I mean
we've been live.
on YouTube, right? Like you pressed the
Yeah. We've been live.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck man.
So what is it like? It's kicking you out, like.
Well, no, the thing is, yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's kicking me out, and I think it's got to be glitching because like I don't see the like the little boxes where all the group members are shown at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't show anybody's profiles. It just shows it's just blank and black, and it doesn't. That's it. A black screen.
That's fucking
So
weird. Yeah. Oh, you get in the yeah. Have to restart your computer. That's the same shit that happened to me when I was getting that black screen bullshit.
yeah.
I had to restart my entire computer, and that's when it started working.
Okay, but well,
Yeah.
I just did. I'm logging back in
I
right
will
now.
pause this. Hit me up through the chat when you're back on. I'm gonna pause this thing, or I'll just set up a new Google Hangouts, and then I'll invite you.
Okay, well, let me try to join it, and if I get the same problem, then yeah, I think we should try a new Hangouts, just see if that works.
Okay. That's cool.
So, one second. So there's this.
Before we even get into path labor, we need to delve a bit into
You got Fox Sports One?
Oh, Fox Sports? Nah, I used to have it in my subscription
Damn.
for my fucking PSN account, but I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, damn.
I used to have it though. Why? What's going on it?
No, I was gonna say you could put on the fights.
Ah, damn, nah. I used to, but I was paying $30 for that shit.
I hear you.
I said, nope. I'm paying $19.99 for that shit. And then I wound up getting rid of it altogether because, like, why pay extra for like sports and shit when I could just watch it on YouTube or
True.
else? I used to have my MSN, my ESPN packet, my MLB Gold. I had all that shit, but I was paying too much.
Yeah. Hold up. I'm gonna have to put my computer in my room and hold on. Hangouts.
Okay. Shit, they fight. Who's fighting right now though?
It's I don't know who's fighting right now, but like the main card is supposed to be, like I said, Frankie Edgar versus Cub Swanson with and Kevin Lee versus what's his name? Barboza, Edson Barboza.
Let me see. Edgar.
Yeah, killer fights, man. Killer fights.
Man, shit, man. Anytime Edgar's in there, man, it's always gonna be a killer fight, bro.
Oh yeah. Only thing that I hate, like it pisses me off watching live streams and they're like they freeze up and shit. You can't watch shit. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Let me watch the fight.
Like, yo, you streaming this shit from your computer, like, why your shit freezing? Like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm actually gonna find like, cause I'm pretty good at finding. Like,
fucking Omar, bro. He's such a retard.
What his bitch ass doing on?
Well, he's citing first. So it's not his quote. It's somebody else's quote. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I've never heard who the fuck says there's no prehistorians. Like I don't know who wrote that shit. It says two issues. It says 2 issues long debated among Pacific and American prehistorians are. You mean paleontologists? Because that's what Like I don't know who wrote that. Because actually he's quoting, so it's not even him. He's right. I mean he's just quoting. But whoever the fuck wrote that, I mean I've never heard that shit. Prehistorians.
Prehistorians.
You're a historian or you're a paleontologist. I don't think there's no prehistorians
like that's not a thing. Like
right. That's
like prehistory is, if you could say
right,
which is the history of human. Like it's all right. Like it's okay if you're talking about prehistory. That's the history of humankind before things were literally written. So before we have a record account, that's prehistories. But a prehistoric, that's not a thing.
Exactly.
Grammatically incorrect. Like you're either talking about a paleontologist or an archaeologist.
Right.
That's it. That's it. There's no like what? So no, like he's stupid for that, and him fucking posting that, he's still wrong. He's gonna be wrong. Yeah. Just by being Omar, he's wrong.
just by virtue of being the retarded Omar that he is.
Just because it's like, dude, like prehistoric. That's not grammatically correct. And hey, I'm the last nigga to be talking about grammar, but I know there's no as like prehistorian. Like the fuck? You either have prehistoric culture. You're talking about either prehistoric culture, dinosaurs and shit, or fucking Bronze Age culture, Iron Age, Stone Age, all that shit, and all that shit.
It's part of history. That's written in history, so that's part of history.
All that shit falls under archaeology.
Yeah.
Like the glacial epoch and all that fucking shit. So, but what was his point with that though?
I don't know. I'm thinking I'm pretty sure. Look, I'm just guessing right away, and I bet you I'm right. It's about the.
Are you in the mood for Omar tonight?
The what?
Are you even in the mood for Omar tonight?
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't want to go there. Let's stick to Roche coming on here and explaining his dick ridation, his dick riding tendencies, and
Man,
then
that nigga,
Amar or that Williams cat.
damn, man, dude, you got so Yo, man, my bad. I don't mean to laugh, but that shit was funny. You were like, you fucking retard. You're so fucking retarded. Like,
Oh
is it gonna
god.
be like you were screaming at that nigga? You're like, okay. Is it gonna be which one? Which is your option?
Oh
Nigga,
shit.
so mad. Yo, so I was crying, bro. He was like, pick one. No. You're going back. You okay, bro. What is the point? Yo, I was crying, son. It's so funny. He was like, no, because we're talking about three different things. Let's just dance. Okay, bro, let's address it one at a time.
Oh shit.
Okay, but you like to hear yourself talk. You like to hear yourself talk.
Oh, by the way, bro, could you share present to everyone my
Oh,
crypto gamble screen?
yeah, for sure. Yo, that's gonna be intense, son. Oh man. All right,
Yeah.
I got you. You're on present to everyone.
Okay.
Oh shit, no, my bad. Cause you have both of your shit in there. That's why. Okay, now you are.
Okay. Cool.
Now you are. Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, for sure. So now we can go live, and let me share the link.
Is it working now?
Yeah, it's working now for sure. Like it's not kicking me out. So, shit. Let me just get that link real quick.
Okay. All right. So an archaeologist, it's the same shit. A prehistorian is a synonym for archaeologist.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but I'm pretty sure they'll even tell you it's rarely used because
That's not what they. But they don't go out saying I'm a prehistorian. They say I'm a fucking archaeologist because you're
right,
so retarded saying that shit.
right.
Like, so in literature or in scientific literature or just reading peer reviewed scholarly sources, I've never heard when they're talking about like ancient cultures, them refer to themselves as prehistorians. I've always seen them say this archaeologist, this paleontologist, this for forensic expert, so on and so forth. Like I've never seen them.
Right, exactly.
That's not a thing. So you're wrong still, Amar. You're always gonna be wrong. Like you came out the
Like
womb.
Amar, just it doesn't matter what you say, just you're wrong, okay?
You're wrong. You're wrong. Your teeth is wrong. Everything is wrong.
Like just by virtue of existing, know that you're wrong.
Just know that you're wrong. Your mom fucked up. She fucked up. Man, I do not give a fuck about these niggas, man. They gonna get this work. They gonna get this work today. And I would like to see what Roche has to say in regards to what he said earlier. I'm interested.
The dick riding, yeah.
The dick riding, because that was hard. That like
that has to be addressed.
Like I'm like, bro, he just should have gotten a condom and shit. Like, dude, you doing all that shit? You better get your STD screened because that was hella dick riding, dude. Like, nah, man. You need to be able to decipher information on your own. We're all students here. We don't claim to know everything, but you have to be able to decipher information on your own before you're like, yeah, that's right. Some shit that me and you, hon, we've had long discussions about that we don't that I necessarily will not completely agree to.
Right, exactly.
And we'll come to some kind of consensus, like we'll come to an understanding, but at least it's a consensus based on scientific knowledge. It's not a consensus based on like ego or feelings or anything like that. Because we all have our own way of interpreting things, but at the end of the day, if you're not using the correct methodology to come to a logical based conclusion, then all you have is opinions.
Yep.
But they call it
basically it's like this. anything that we disagree on are fucking caveats and like
Caveats.
technical details. Like when it comes to like
Common fucking.
basic science that the average person should know,
We are in
that's
complete.
not part of our debates. Okay.
That is not exactly like just like among scientists when they have the consensus of evolution and they agree that evolution happened, they may have disagreements about like how did it get to that point? You know what I mean? Like within the dynamic of evolution, there is some debate there. There are some caveats in there, but scientists are not disagreeing that evolution actually happened.
Right, exactly. And that's what we
The
find
process.
ourselves fucking arguing with these dumbasses.
Right, or they're not being fucking stupid creationist idiots. There's no like that's why 98% of scientists agree that evolution actually happened, but they just have some disagreements on the process. It's not like that creational bullshit, that macro versus micro, which shows you they don't know what the fuck
Yeah, yeah,
because macro and micro go hand in hand.
yeah.
It's not versus anything. But yeah, it's just disagreements and caveats, but the caveat to that, but at the end of the day, we're not debating the methodology, which is sound.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're going to go live, and actually, hold on. Let me just message Lika again because she's gonna have to share it.
Share it. Where are these niggas? I saw Kundalini. He was trying to go like live earlier or some shit, like on Google Hangouts. But someone was talking so much shit about Google Hangouts. Now he's using it. All of
Oh
a sudden,
yeah, yeah.
all of a sudden, you're not scared about us hacking you anymore. All of a sudden, now you have balls. Nigga made like so many excuses. They're gonna hack me until he came on our live. Now you want to do Google Live. Now it's not a problem. Whatever.
All right, we're going live in 3, 2, 1, and
3, 2,
we
1.
are live.
What up, you hoe ass, bitch ass eyeballs? That's my introduction. That's not gonna change until you guys change. You guys are gonna be bitch ass eyeballs until you stop fucking claiming shit that's not yours. Oh man. I'm trying to still find that there was this one Amazonian group that popped up, bro, in my genetic admixtures chart, and it links with the Papuan. It's another one that links with the Papuan, and I can't find it now.
Hello?
Yo, hello?
Yeah. My bad.
Yo, bro. Yo, what's going on? Your shit sound like it got the mini echo, man.
Yeah, no, that's because so when I have two accounts on the Hangouts,
Oh, okay.
I have to. So one of them is from my laptop, right, and the other one's from my phone.
Right.
But the one from my laptop, if I block the sound, because that's the one that I'm using to live stream it, to share it on Facebook, right, live streaming it. But if
Right.
the one if I block the sound from that one and put it all the way low, that's the reason why, like, for whatever reason, nobody can hear the hangout except for the sound of me on that account. So like when you're talking and when Joseph is talking or whoever, like that's the reason why people on Facebook. Remember last time, the first time that I went on Hangout, like one of the first times that you're like, oh yeah, I just heard you, but I didn't hear Jamie. That's because of that. That's because of that, because like the sound was all the way down on the laptop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck? Like, who are you talking to? Like,
Right, exactly.
I'm like, how you have a 2 hour conversation and there's nobody talking to
Right,
you?
I'm in a conversation with myself. Like,
Right? I'm like, damn, bro. Like, don't let these hours get to you, man. Nervous breakdown and shit. Oh no, but nah, I'm just talking shit. I'm playing, but no, I get you. Like, it's just trying to figure out the way the fucking computer works is gonna get like, you're
yeah.
probably good.
Like,
Oh,
there's so many things to this. You would think it'd be a hell of a lot simpler than this.
I mean, it used to be before Google made that dumbass decision to fuse it with YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, but I guess they figured when we bought YouTube, why like scrap one or the other? Let's put them together.
Yeah.
So, I still think they should have kept this separate. Oh, I found it, bro. I found it.
Okay. Yep.
Remember when I was telling you like how was I aside from the other thing that I told you in regards to like where my Amerindian, my Siberian, and my what you call it, my North Indian and my Papuan. There's a specific project that identifies East Neolithic admixtures in your genome, right? Um,
Yep.
not just like East. It mainly focuses on that, but it also focuses on Austroasiatic. If you have Austroasiatic um, tribal mixtures, it also focuses on like if you have um Amazonian, like it also focuses heavily on like the Amazonian tribal mixtures as well.
Yeah.
They have complete genomes from specific Amazonian tribes. So this is how I found out that my Papuan was a carryover from my ancestors who had my Native American ancestors who had crossed the Bering Strait and then wound up going eventually into the Amazon because we know
Yep.
that's where the Taino and the Caribs, that's where they descend from. Their ancestors are from there. So when I did the I mean it'd be a lot easier if I could screen share it. If you don't mind, just temporarily, I'm just gonna screen share it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Um present to everyone. See if it'll let me do it. Oh yeah, application window. Here we go.
Just letting you know, we are
All right.
going live right now. I'm sharing it into the real, the native Final Battle group. Facts over fairy tales. The original Aboriginal copper colored asteroid races of America.
This is just
So it's going out there. It's going there. It's going to the Final Battle Israelites versus Comedics.
so
And it's going into the basically all the pseudo groups, the Olmec United Nation of Warriors.
God damn, you are broadcasting to every fucking cult on the planet.
Oh no! Oh no!
What happened?
Oh no!
What happened?
Oh
They kicked you?
no! Yes,
Fuck out. They kicked you?
bro, they just fucking kicked me. God damn it,
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
dude.
Oh. Are you kidding me
God
right now?
damn it, bro. They
Has it
just
actually been
fucking
fixing
kicked
now?
me. Yep.
Oh,
These sons of whores. Sons of fucking bitches.
fucking faggot assholes reporting shit. You know they're reporting it. Damn. It might have been better to just like broadcast it to the eyeballs at least, but them motherfuckers must have just immediately went to the report button in the other group.
No, bro, you know what it was? It was the sharing into multiple groups.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Yeah, that might have tripped the algorithm.
Yeah, which I don't understand why the fuck would it do that, but
Oh, man.
god damn it. I should have just let somebody else share it into these groups, but god damn it. I didn't know it would do that though. Like why the fuck would it do
Yeah, it
that?
doesn't even make. I mean,
That's so retarded.
they find it. Facebook finds any fucking way to fucking Oh God, that's stupid as shit, yo.
God damn it. And the thing is, like, again, I have the Jermaine Ali account, but because I'm blocked in the final battle, the Abu final battle, it's like
And Fabo, I mean, well, you could try hitting up Fabo. I don't. I mean, I tried telling him, but I guess he never took it off or whatever.
yeah. God
Yeah.
damn it, man.
Oh man,
This is so fucking frustrating.
now we're completely out. Damn, and they ask you for the picture, like not even the goddamn number.
Right? What the
Like
fuck?
holy
Like
shit, what kind of shit is that?
bitches, man.
It might have been in your browser too.
No, no, bro. It's the fact that I shared it into multiple groups simultaneously. I mean, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
but
I
you know
mean,
how sometimes if
simultaneous. You know.
you know sometimes if you don't clear your history, like bro, like you don't clear your history and stuff like that, even if you're able to successfully log in, after a while that trips it. That's why I kept changing my IP, and even then, after a while, like after like a week, they would catch on, and or like 2 days or something, then fucking close my shit.
Right. Fuck. Let me try another phone number. Hopefully this shit works. 7086.
Damn,
I'm
man.
going back to all the old accounts that I used to.
That might have opened because that's another
Yeah.
thing too. Like they don't tell you that your shit is reopened, even if you
Yeah.
submit.
What the fuck? What kind of shit is that? Like, say, bitch, send me a text or something. Like,
Some bitches are they fucking petty enough to tell you they're kicking you out, but they're not
right.
telling you that the shit is back open.
Right. The fuck.
Well, while you're doing that, I just wanted to just briefly touch on this. Then, this is the map that I was telling you about. That
Yeah.
tells me specifically, my near Asian, excluding like Siberian, like they're not paying attention to like my Eurasian ancestry in this one. It's only
Yeah.
focusing on Southeast Asian, um, near Southeast Asian, Indo European, and Amerindian DNA, right? So what
Yeah.
pops up here, which is very interesting, and it ties into it makes perfect sense, like given my genetic heritage. What pops up here is you'll see the Papuan. You'll see a
Yeah.
significantly more because it's that's the focus. So you'll see a significantly more contribution, but it's within like the margin of error. But you'll see there's a 0.42 where my Papuan is at, and then you'll see my Caritiana which is 4.97%,
Yeah.
and the Caritiana, and I will now bring up the scholarly article on them, are an Amazonian group, and
Yeah. They're the one that mixture. Yeah.
they have the admixture of Papuan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hold on, let me fuck, I just had it up too. Okay, so just have to Papuan. I gotta do a little confirmation shit because I literally had it, and
Yeah.
I did some confirmation bias shit real quick because I literally had it up.
Okay.
They even found fucking Papuan and supposedly they found Papuan and Caritiana genomes like in fucking Jomons that lived 3,000 years ago in Fukushima.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Papua and what?
in Jomon,
Wow.
like
Okay.
similar DNA in the Jomon people.
Yeah. 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 That's
Yeah, like,
interesting.
they actually found some of that too in but I want to reference that the exact article that I was looking at that they were able to find oh hold on, I just had that shit up. What the fuck what did I do with it? Oh, here it is, Papuan genetics. Here it is. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Damn, what was the fucking paper?
God damn it.
Oh, here it is. Found it.
Yeah.
So it says here, newly released genetic studies have found the strongest relationship between certain Amazonian tribes, such as the Karatiana, the Surui, and the Shavante, and indigenous people of Papua New Guinea. Two regions that are coincidentally among the most linguistically diverse in the world. Shavante village is seen here. And then it says two studies find ties between Native Americans and Australia, disagree on everything else. And it goes to say two research, and this is from 2015, but it says two research studies published in two separate scientific journals have found DNA of certain Amazonian Indian tribes that are similar to those of indigenous inhabitants of Australia and Melanesia. However, as often happens in genetic studies of American Indians, the two research groups often offered sharply contrasting interpretations of what this data means for how the Americas were first peopled. Let's see. It says here. Okay, this is the part that I read. It says here. I think no geneticist would have expected this, said Sukoglin, whatever. I can't pronounce that shit for my life. But what it tells us in terms of history, which is more important, is that there's greater diversity of Native American ancestral populations than people previously thought. The strongest relationship is between certain Amazonian tribes, such as the Karitiana, Sui, and the Shavante, and the indigenous peoples of Papua New Guinea. Two regions that coincidentally among the most linguistically diverse in the world, according to the Harvard study. The date when this genetic mixing occurred is so old that the two groups may have split off before the populating of Australia more than 40,000 years ago. But this admixture is only found in certain South American Indians and not at all in North American Indians.
Right.
So if you go by the study of my genome, it makes sense. I have Papuan contribution, I have Katiliana contribution, and we know that the Taínos descended from South America.
Guyana, that whole
Guyana, Venezuela. They specifically Venezuela.
Venezuela, that's right.
Venezuela, the classical Taínos come from the Orinoco, same thing as the Caribs, and then they migrated into the Caribbean. So when history makes sense, it all makes sense. This is my ancestral heritage.
Right. Yeah.
I carry that Papuan admixture from 40,000 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that fucking amazing?
Yeah, bro. I mean, shit, it's crazy that they're able to track it that well.
Yeah, they were able to actually pinpoint that it came from a specific, I guess because they have enough contributions from that tribe to be able to compare to that pool, and they were able to pinpoint that contributions from Papua and Katirianga and, then Arawak.
Right. I mean, to be fair, it's based on the database, right? But based on the data that they do have, like that whole region, Caribs and Amazonians and so on and so forth, like that represents a certain lineage or a closer lineage, right? Then I'm sure if your genes would have popped up as North Native American, like say you were a Navajo, right? Then the specific ties that they would have tied you to would be from the collection of samples that they do have, which would be for like not Dene peoples, which in turn would be more closely to like the Siberian populations, right? And then maybe the well, no, yours gave you multiple, right? It gave you Kennewick Man and Anzac Child, right?
Yeah.
And so, so I mean, for any Native American people, if you have Native DNA in you, it'll match you with those Paleolithic era samples, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, to be fair, it is comparative relative to the pool size that they have, but they were at least. I'm interpreting that the pool size must be substantial for them to be able to pinpoint, because that's a tribe. Now we're talking
right, yeah.
So it must be substantial for them to be able to exactly pinpoint that I have a contribution coming from the Catriana, and then I have Papi
All right. Yeah. Yes.
as
Yes. Yes.
well,
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
which
Because
I
there were other tribes too
yeah,
that have had it, and it didn't mention them.
and
So.
it didn't mention them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it actually pinpoint that I share that, and it makes sense because according to the genetic studies, the Catriana carried that genetic admixture from over 40,000 years ago, prior to their ancestors crossing the Bering Strait, and they carry that admixture with that coming with that population Y. They carry
Yeah.
that admixture over. So, and we know that's just based on history and demographics, we know that's where the ancestors of the Arawaks and the Caribs come from, which is the Amazon.
Yep. Yep.
So it all
Exactly.
seems to make sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I'm an old motherfucker. I mean, it's cool though. They
Paleolithic.
were able to pinpoint and tell me like that they were able to connect it to an actual tribe in the Amazon. That
Right.
it is in many ways the ancestors, because they've never left. They're still there to this day. The ancestors of the Arawaks, because there's Arawaks in South is in the Amazon, and they're the
Yep. Yep.
ancestors of the Tainos.
Yep. Yep.
That's so fucking interesting, bro.
Hell
Man,
yeah.
man, I wish I would yo.
Damn.
Go ahead, bro. Sorry about that.
No. No. I was just gonna say you don't have no profiles whatsoever, right?
Nah,
In the
dude,
group.
all of them have been knocked down. I tried to start one today, and that shit was good for like 2 hours, and it got hit. I even had Pablo
Yeah.
add
Yeah.
me in the
Yeah.
other group, and it wound up getting hit. All of them are gone. I mean, oh fuck, I was gonna say, but yeah, but your shit is blocked. Like I was like, damn, like what about your Jermaine Ali is the only one, right?
Yep. Yep.
Fuck. Oh, but you said you was gonna try like another phone number or something.
Yeah. No. I went through all of them. Nope.
Oh man, um, shit. Damn. Um, damn. I don't know now. Let me see. I have to.
I'll do this. I'll have instead Lika take a screenshot of it maybe, um and like share it in the final battle group so that they could at least see my profile, so we're
Damn.
live.
They must be going after your profile. These eyeball because your
Yeah,
whole profile
man.
was in there for a minute, and you showed your picture. So why are they? I don't understand that. Wasn't that the one that you said that you showed your picture?
On which one?
Like the Jose one, like that it was locked, but it came back. Wasn't
Yeah, yeah, it was actually. It was.
so then what the fuck? Like why would it ask you for a picture a second time?
Oh, no. The one that asked me for a picture was this Alex Gonzalez one. The Jose, I mean Alex Jimenez one. The Jose Gonzalez one, it just got banned altogether. Like it says, you're banned from Facebook. Period. Disabled. Your account is disabled.
Oh, they disabled the shit out of it.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
fuck? I've never had that
yeah.
shit. Like, damn, like not even with a warning, like it's just
No,
gone.
well, the warning was when it asked me for a picture, I guess.
Oh,
But
that's
now it's like I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy.
that's fucking funny, bro. Let me see if I have any of my profiles that unlocked. I doubt it, but let me see. Uh, yeah, oh man, I doubt it, but fucking bitch ass.
Mm, oh,
Uh,
you know what I'll do? I'll have her make a list of these apples, just so if I miss anybody. So I'll take a screenshot of us going live in my Jermaine Ali account,
mm,
and I'll have her share the screenshot into the final battle group, and I'll have her tag Rashay, Kundalini, all these niggas, and
yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Have a tag all those bitch ass niggas,
yeah,
um, and tell them to get the asses in here.
yeah.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and then you can record it like, well, this is being recorded, right?
Yeah,
And
it's already.
and from the point where they jump in, from that point forward, we can later post it.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude. This shit accurate. Oh shit, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was
Oh,
that shit?
shit.
This shit
That's a
just
fucking.
fucked me all up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I mean, I'm with it. Like, yeah, have her tag all those bitch ass niggas
Bitch
and
ass elbows.
bitch ass fucking apples, and for them to get their asses in here, especially Rashay. I'm very disappointed in him.
Right,
He's
Rashay.
going in timeout. That
Yeah,
nigga's going in timeout.
yeah.
That little kid doesn't get any cookies for a week.
God damn it.
Man.
So, 1 second.
Oh, man.
Okay, so here's Jermaine Ali. What the fuck? Okay.
Damn, I have a lot of fucking. God damn, bro. I was Have you heard of the Natufian culture?
Who?
Natufian culture.
Oh, yeah, of course. The two fins.
Yeah, they according to GEDmatch, because it also, like I said, it also pinpoints ancestral ancient DNA. I have 5.55 contributions from Natufian,
Yeah. Okay.
and I had nine. I mean, I don't know much about them. I was just looking them up, and that they had existed from 12,500 BC to 9,000 BC in the Levant.
Yeah.
But I don't really know like much about them. I know that they
12,000. Yeah, it's 12,000 to what?
to
Because,
like
yeah, that's.
9,000 or some shit like that in the Levant.
Yeah. Yep. That's about right.
Like, but I don't know enough about them. I think that what they had they had like a pastoral culture or something like that, or they were sedentary, some type of sedentary culture.
Yeah, yeah, no, they were agriculturalists,
Oh,
farmers.
oh, so those were the agriculture. Oh, okay, so the
Yeah,
are the agricultural farmers that left the Levant and
yeah,
went into
in
Europe with
Europe,
the
exactly.
agricultural revolution. Okay.
Yep. They had the haplogroups that they had are interesting. They had some E1B1Bs, like related to Egyptians, um, related to Berbers, and they had some CTs in there. Paragroup CT, the one that gave way to DE and CF,
Right.
and yeah, basically, I mean that haplogroup, that's the haplogroup, that the lineage that went extinct, basically.
Got you.
Yeah, but yeah, they were Mediterranean peoples. Yeah, Levantine peoples, and then they went into go. They went to Gobekli Tepe. Or at least, okay, so no, because Göbekli Tepe was contemporary with them.
Cut. Right.
So yeah, so it must, but so same peoples, right? Like the same types of peoples.
Right.
So
Like relative to
farmers.
the region.
Yeah, yep,
Because when I think of Neolithic farmers, like I think of Indo-Iranians. So I know that there were Neolithic farmers that left from the Levant, but I like
yeah,
my first go to is to think of Indo-Iranians because that's usually the ones that are mentioned first, and then they talk about like the actual like Middle East, like in the Levant. Um,
yeah. No, but Indo-Iranians, I mean, Indo-Iranians, like um as in speakers, like, because Indo-Iranians are
it's a broad
basically,
term.
you know,
It's a broad term, like Indo-Iranian specifically referring to those in that the groups that lived in or the groups that still live in the Indo-Iranian plateau, like the the ones that I mentioned that were closer, they're close enough to Pakistan, Afghanistan. Um, I'm trying to think of the other group, like the ones that I told you that popped up, the Balochistan.
Yeah.
Those are
Yep.
Indo-Iranian peoples.
Okay.
You know, the Baluch people are people that mainly live in the Balochistan region in the southeasternmost edge of the Iranian plateau. You know, those are considered Indo-Iranian peoples. So it's like, you know, Persians are Indo-Iranians.
Right.
Those from um, not Turkey per se, but Turkmenistan. People who live in Turkmenistan are also Indo-Iranian people. They share commonality with groups from Kazakhstan, who also have
Yep.
a. So that's what I'm referring to. Not so much the language, but the genetics.
Yep.
So that's usually what I think of, and I mean it makes sense though. Like Baluch, Batafian, like it makes sense. I'm
Yep.
actually looking at my promo phone count because it seems that they
Okay.
finished.
Joseph, because my just real quick, Joseph is listening to us now. I just shared it on my profile. Could you share it into the groups, Joseph? Into all the pseudo groups. I'm sure you won't be able to share it in the final battle, the Abo final battle group, because they actually have me blocked. But I'm actually gonna take a screen share of it and of this chat and have Lika tag the Abos in the final battle group so they can join us.
Yeah. But
So yeah, Joseph, and if you want to jump in, Joseph, as well,
yeah, Joseph Jones, man,
you can join us.
jump in so we can talk about these bitch ass abos. But he's not. Oh yeah, you're gonna take a screenshot, right? And then he's gonna be able to. He's gonna share it into the other final battle and then tag people in there.
Was that?
Like you gonna take a screenshot, and he's gonna share it into the other final battle, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna tell Lika to share it into the Abo final battle. I hope Joseph is able to share it into the all the other pseudo groups if he's still listening.
All right. Um. Um. Yo, they completed my batch, bro.
They what?
They
Oh,
com-
your match. Okay,
yeah, like the so it might be able to tell me my haplo group, literally
nice,
tell it. It just told me that it's completed. Um,
nice.
I'm just looking at the because now like when they're done, it lets me it opens me more to different parts of the site, so I can look at my admixture proportions by chromosome. Um, let's see what it says. Mm. Mm. I'm just waiting for it to generate. It's a lot of shit. Uh,
Do you know how to spell Rache? Is it with two E's, right? Yeah,
I
Rache.
think there's two A's. Hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, give me a list of all the apples to tag.
I well, Kundalini. That's number one. Yeah, Rache is two A's. It's Raashey.
Okay, what's the last name? Rache what?
Chikuma,
Shit.
Chikuma. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? It's CHI.
Oh, Chikuma.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chikuma. I don't like chipmunk. Like like what? Yeah, but Chikuma. Yeah, that's what it says. Well, you don't want to tag Amar's whole ass. So
No, not Amar. I mean, just Rache, Sir Williams. and
so
what's this? Was it Mateo?
oh yeah, Mateo, Sir Williams, Mateo.
Mateo, what's his last name? Mateo what?
Oh shit, that I don't know. Oh, Dewberry,
Oh yeah, Dewberry. Yeah.
yeah, Dewberry. Dewberry. Oh man.
All right, so I just
Mm.
sent it to her. Man, I can't believe this bitch ass Facebook, man.
Man, that's
Like,
Facebook on
seriously.
some dumb shit. They need to like y'all some fucking man. I never
Hoes.
like y'all some dictator shit, man. Like
Right?
I
Straight
feel like a
dictator.
Dominican back in like the early 18th century.
Fucking Nazis.
Fucking Nazis.
Just call them Nazis.
Fucking got us in Facebook concentration camps. God damn. They are some action. Like I never remember even MySpace being like this fucking dictatorship. Like damn.
Right, like no, you guys are actual Nazis. Like you're an actual Nazi, right?
You
Like,
know what the ironic part is that there's so many fucking neo-Nazi groups on Facebook, and I've even reported these groups, bro. And those just never get taken down. But my black ass used to go through like 20 different accounts just to stay on, man. That's so whack, bro. Man,
Fucking crazy.
man.
See, and I don't even feel like fucking sharing it in the anywhere because my shit this fucking account might get kicked.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I'm not sharing it anywhere. But I hope whoever's listening. I know. I think Joseph might still be listening. Maybe. If so, if you can do us the favor of sharing it, bro, we would appreciate it.
Word. You know, and jump on too if you have, if you have time.
Yeah.
I'm looking for this. There's something called a chromosome painting, but I'm not sure exactly what that means. Like, on Get Match. I gotta get my mother tested though. Have you? How many family members have you gotten tested on your side?
Just my grandma.
Just your grandma?
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to get my mother tested. And my aunt tested. That's the next step. When I have time, I'll order the kit so I can speak catarro and send it, and we could send it and shit. Cause this allows you to do like comparing your kits between yourself and your parents. You can do one-to-one comparison, or you could do your kit and then like other members on the sites. Like it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Um, and like it does come up like it's like I don't know what chromosome paintings are for per se, but there is something called admixture chromosomes where it tells you like your percentages related to your like on your chromosome, like chromosome 1, 2, all the way up to like 23.
Okay.
It does tell you.
All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna share it in one group. And that's
Hopefully
it.
that's you,
The Aboriginal
copper color.
Aboriginal copper colored autochthonous Australoids of United America.
Yeah, I start to cry when I hear that dumbass shit.
and they got a fucking a fucking Indian Cleveland Indians fucking
Like the
logo. That's the fucking Cleveland Indians.
like that shit is the most. That's disrespectful to actual natives. Like, why would you even?
They're fucking idiots, bro.
Why would you even
God damn.
put that? That's disrespectful as
But
fuck.
let's stay with this topic for a minute because I just shared it on there and I just want to, if one of them is listening right now. Oh, no, but he's not an Abo. He's Terrence is cool. He's an Abo killer. What up, Terrence? If you're listening, what up?
That's what's up.
Terrence Washington. But yeah, all these retards, bro. Hey, by the way, Terrence, that's the link on the video description if you want to join us. But yeah, all these retards. Like, what kind of a name? The original Aboriginal copper-colored autochthonous Australoids of America. What kind of? And they got a Cleveland Indians fucking.
That's
logo.
actually disrespectful to actual names. Like what? Like the context that you're using that. So you're saying that's you? Like what? You that goofy?
Fucking
like,
idiot.
Y'all niggas is retarded, son.
Right.
The fuck? Like, that shit is disrespectful. That's akin to like fucking blackface. Like that's akin to fucking blackface when we're talking about what's offensive to Native Americans. And so what? You're claiming to say you're Native then and you're using the most offensive fucking thing possible?
Right.
Retard.
Right.
Fucking retards.
Dumbasses.
Every one of those albums are retards.
Yeah.
I highly doubt you would find one competent enough to be able to debate.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Especially
they might be dumb enough, and they'll think we like just some average Joes or something. They'll hop on here and then realize really simple
like,
they made a big mistake.
And that's when these albums realize they fucked up.
Right.
Man, especially after today, bro, because that dude made the Caribbean look so bad. I'm like, dude, don't even fucking tell people you're in Trinidad. Like, tell people you live in like don't even say that shit, man. You're making your peoples in Trinidad look bad. Like, I know fucking scholars that will smack the fuck out of you. Like, are you kidding me? Oh shit, we're live.
Right. Where?
Oh, I thought we were. Oh no. You know what it is? When I log into my account, your shit popped up. And usually when I log in, it goes straight into the Abo group because I'm obsessed with these idiots. So when I like it, usually that's the first thing that pops up, but nah, it's just that your shit popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was shared though. Oh yeah, but I think that was you sharing it. Fucking, let's see what these idiots are saying, man. They're so lucky I can't say shit right now. Just wait till my sister account unlocks in like 2 days. It'll unlock on Monday. Shit. Oh shit, the Celtics are playing the fucking Bucks. They're gonna play today.
Nice.
Yeah, the Celtics are gonna play the Bucks today. I'm gonna watch that shit today. But yeah, bro. I'm gonna look into the other final battle group and see if I doubt Lika. I don't know. I guess I don't know if she shared it or not, but we'll see.
Not yet. Not yet. She hasn't seen my
messages. Damn, man, that sucks, man. All of the accounts are gone.
Yeah, man.
That's fucking corny, son. Are there any? Because I'm not in this group, like not on any of my accounts. So, are there any albums that are like up?
No. That have so far commented or something.
Nah, like I mean, like they're up, like they want to come on or some shit.
Well, not in. I just shared it like on that on the Aboriginal copper color group. That's it.
Man, I want that artist.
I would share it in the. I would share it in the what's it called in the Facts Over Fairy Tales. But again, I don't want my shit to get blocked. Waldo, what up, Waldo? He might also be hearing us right now. He's in the Aboriginal group. Now we got Wayne watching, Quentin watching. What up, y'all?
Yo, what's going on?
if you guys want to come join us, feel free to do so. Please
Yeah,
do.
please come
Please
through.
do. We want to know. We just want to know what your perspective is on what you know what you consider evidence. What are your standards of evidence for a pre-colonial presence in the Americas, a Paleolithic one at that? you
Yeah.
know.
You want to
So
understand why do you feel like you have always been here, and we need to we need to dive into the specifics as to what does that necessarily mean.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
are you claiming
Because we're new to this. We just wanna learn.
yeah, we're just trying to
So
understand, like, because we might be copper colored. We don't know.
right.
Like, like, like we might be.
Right, I might be copper colored and I don't even know it. So
I mean, we might be autonomous. Like,
I hear there's some test out there. Yeah, I hear there's some test that you that you can take. It's not a DNA test though. It's definitely not a DNA test.
nah, no, we don't do DNA. That's white man's.
Right, that's the white man science.
That's
That's
white
a
man's. Like,
hoax.
they lie about everything, manipulate everything. So we not even touching DNA. Like, I really want to know if I'm a penny. Like, I'm like like I'm trying to figure out if I'm copper colored, if I'm a penny, or am I pale face?
Right. And
You know?
and we want to know what kind of like what kind of penny is adequate to fit this criteria. Is it a dirty penny from like the 1600s? Is it a is it a shiny new penny? Is it a is it made out of zinc, mostly zinc, or is it actual copper?
Like
Because there's all these
what is the
things.
appropriate penny? What kind of penny do you use for your methodology? Because there needs to be
Right.
method. We can't just be using different pennies, and we're gonna get to different conclusions. Like, you know, like,
Right.
like what
My
dirty
dark skinned brother over
clean?
here might not fit the standard. You know what I'm
It might
saying?
not fit
So
the standard. Like, what penny?
we might have to find a dirtier penny for him. Like we
Right?
might have
Like are these pennies like peer reviewed? Like that's what we need to find out. Like he may require a penny that's like soaked in tar and that's dirty as hell. Like,
right. We might have to throw that bitch in the ground a little bit and stomp on
when
it.
spit on it or some shit. Like, there needs to be. Is there a peer review commission that peer reviews
Right.
pennies? Like
Right.
like how do you reach the consensus?
Right, exactly. A penny peer review process. That's what we want to know.
Right.
Is there a penny peer review process?
Like, what is the academic standards for pennies and skin to penny ratio? Like, what is the comparison?
Right.
Like, like
And
I was
also considering that the light skins are, well, they're definitely more prominent today, I would say, but considering that I would say the dark skin African American is still the predominant one. And if not that, if you want to say that maybe the dark skin African American is not, guess what? There's 11 million, other peoples in the Caribbean and in South and Central America that are most definitely more darker than you African Americans. So are you telling me? So they came on the ship, right? They're the ones that came on the ship, but your light skin ass didn't. You were the one that was already here, right? Based on
right.
the
How did they
copper colored
come
test.
on the ship in the Caribbean where there's still like remnants of slave ports to this day, but you've always been here? So but you guys, like, how would you be able to distinguish between yourself and dark skin or light skinned person from the Caribbean with
Right.
with quote unquote, even though you guys don't like hearing it, with quote unquote African ancestry? Like, how do you distinguish yourself?
Right. And half of the ones that are claiming copper colored, by the way, half of the ones that are claiming the copper colored shit aren't even the light skinned ones. So
They're not. They're the Ethan Apple. So like,
they're the ones. They're the ones that, according to your criteria, must have been the ones that came on the slave ship
but
because they're dark skinned.
that's why we're trying to figure out like which kind of penny do they use? Like, do they use the dirty ass penny? Do they use the penny that's been like in a duck's ass? Like, do they use a penny? Do they use a penny that they spit on, or do they use just a common penny that's
Right,
kind of
right.
close? Like,
And how did copper color period? How did it become the criteria when meaning that you are not from Africa because you're light skinned, but the Khoisan are light skinned, and there's many Kushitics that are light skinned. So I'm not understanding this light skin thing where
so are
supposedly if you're
Kushitics
light skinned,
aboriginal to the Americas because they're copper?
right? Our Khoisan, our Khoisan.
Khoisan with their epilantic folds are like the aboriginal to the Americas, and that means you guys aren't. Like, how does that work?
Right, right.
Because it's true, the predominant people are mostly a darker, browner hue. I mean, you have light skinned people. A lot of that
Yeah.
has to do with admixture that they don't. The admixture is a little bit more visible in them.
Right.
Those are mulatto stock.
Right.
Uh,
And even then, to say that Africans don't have light skin
when they do,
is ridiculous.
yeah, because we know even in Africa there is a lot of light skinned people, such as like the Khoisan, for example. They're light.
Right.
Chicks are light skinned to some degree. Western aromatic people are definitely within light skin. Like, they range between light to darkish brownish hue. So, and it's mainly the Idris Alba looking people in the Americas that are claiming that they're copper colored. So
Right.
how did you quantify that? How does that work? You guys
Exactly.
because brown and tan, like, you put them together, you can see the distinction. So when you put a penny, like, is it like the standard of the material matters, right? Like, if it's a dirty penny, like, then I guess you're reaching a false assessment, like,
Right.
because
Exactly.
it's
So
been
so
compromised, it's
what
contaminated,
pennies are we talking about?
right? Like, but the penny's been contaminated though, so it's like, so if you pick up the dirtiest penny and it's contaminated, then your results are fucked.
Right. Yeah. Labar saying we're being an idiot, but no, we're just honestly trying to
We're
understand what's
just trying
going
to
on here.
honestly understand. Well, if we're idiots, then come on and explain to us like what we don't
Yeah.
understand.
Educate us, bro. We're
Right.
trying to learn.
Like, there's no need to insult us because you picked up the dirty ass fucking penny and then you came to the conclusion you were copper colored. Like,
Right.
we want to understand first why you going around picking up dirty ass penny like you're like a homeless person, and B, we want to know like how'd you get to your conclusion. That's all.
Exactly, exactly.
No one told you
Again,
to.
because clearly the skin color game, I mean, at least to me, is already, it's not looking all that robust as a
Yeah,
methodology.
it doesn't seem like it's very thorough. But what we're new to this shit. We don't really know, so we want you guys to hop on and explain it to us.
Right, right, right. Because maybe skull structures is a better determinant, maybe.
I know, like, or
Um,
genetics, or even like morphology, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Morphology, anthropometry is the name for all the measurements of the whole body. Because sometimes skull structures can be deceiving. A skull structure can seem like it's related to another population, but not the whole anthropometry will. Like the average height, the body limb ratios
Right.
will be off. So we're just trying to find out
The
if
height,
exactly the height, all that. So maybe that's a better criteria than skin color.
and then a dirty
Um,
penny. I think that because
you're
a dirty
right.
penny can only
Yeah.
tell you so much. Like, it's dirty. Like, it can only tell you so much. Like, do you just pick it up from the floor, like, and wash it? Do you sanitize it like surgeons sanitize their tools prior to cutting somebody up? Like, what is the process?
Right. And if you're using modern pennies, I mean, they're mostly made of zinc.
Right? They're not even
So
copper. So
yeah,
I
they're
mean,
not pure copper.
yeah. So it's like even your pennies have admixture. So you niggas are mutts. So I mean, so yeah, just come feel free to come on and we can discuss it.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Please join us. Please do.
please do. Like, we want to understand. And we want to talk about the Aboriginal language. Like, what is it? Is it copper colored language? Is that like part of a family? Is there like a common parent ancestor that speaks copper colored? Like explain it to us.
He says a dirty penny got nothing to do with a copper's different shades, especially if it's burned. True, true. Okay, but that's where we so say a colonist walks in, right, and he sees that somebody is copper colored, and he documents it that we saw a copper colored peoples.
Mm-hmm.
But what if their skull morphology and the rest of their body? What if they're mongoloids? Like
Mm-hmm.
what that like how do you know that he was specifically talking about a peoples who have a congoid skull structure rather than a mongoloid skull structure? Like how would you differentiate if the only thing that he said was that these people were copper colored?
And the only
You know
thing
what
you
I'm
have to
saying?
go by is a penny. Like you can't use a penny to determine skull morphology. So what is the process?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
yeah,
that doesn't really make sense.
yeah. So
I
it's
mean, but
it's a lot of questions. I mean, it would be better if you would just jump on here, man. To be honest, like
right, just join us
it'll
and
be more thorough for you to be able to explain your view, your position, and
yeah.
because I just heard of this movement. I'm interested as hell.
Me too. Like I mean, shit. I've been told I'm copper colored, and I might be copper colored. I don't know. Like I'm trying to find out
Right,
my roots. I don't know enough. And
right, right.
like if I've always been here, and I'll be here tomorrow, and I'll be here the day after that, I'd like to know.
Exactly, exactly.
You know.
Me, I'm not copper colored, but I've heard that I'm part of the Moorish Empire. So see that's the part
Oh,
where that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I kind of became confused on that one. Like I don't know, like they're saying we're Moors, but we're also not Moors, but
well, you're a
we're
more, but
Aboriginals.
you're a more, but you're mutated. Remember, you're mutated. Okay,
Right, Moriscos. They say. They
you're
say I'm a
Morisco.
Morisco.
So you're
Uh,
technically mutated. Like you have the Neanderthal and all that. So you know.
right,
You know how that goes. But you're still a more though. Like
right.
everybody's more.
Everybody's a Moor. Everybody's a
Everybody's more
Moor.
so that wouldn't even take it. It doesn't matter. Like that wouldn't even take that away from you. Like
Right.
like you still always been here too, and you'll be here after that.
Right, but also I wasn't here though because I came from the Caucasus Mountains, so
True. I mean, you wasn't here, but then humans migrated everywhere. Like Africans are Europeans are Africans. So guess what? Like you're still African. So I mean, but
right,
then again, you're not. But at the same time, you are. But like still, you were still in the Americas. So
right, exactly,
because the Moorish
exactly.
Empire, Marrakesh, America.
Al
See,
Marrakush, a Maxim. Don't forget about a Maxim.
Maxim, Maxim too,
A Maxim
and
too.
you're a
Can we?
Moor. So and like we know there were European Moors. So like they can't like no one can deny that. That's true.
Exactly,
It has nothing to do with
exactly.
skin color because you have a status. Remember that
Right,
your light skin is a
right.
status.
See, one of the copper color elders I was talking about, he said we are autochthonous to the Americas, but we came from Israel. We were always here, but we came from before Columbus, and we have memes to prove it. So,
And that's
uh,
facts, bro.
so
Facts.
that's facts. Yeah, that's facts. That's
Once you
facts.
have memes, that's all you need. You don't need anything.
Right,
What? Everything else is written by the white man. So even the memes
right,
are written by the white man, but it doesn't even matter because we know how to process information better. So it's fine.
right.
Like we're not gonna dispute that. Like you're more, and I remember my autonomous elder told me, I was talking to he told me that Brazil was actually the power for Rome. Like there is no Italy.
Right,
So I
right.
don't know
And
what
and
you're
and
talking
and
about.
Teotihuacan, even though it was in the Nahuatl language spoken by the Mexica, who were part of the Aztec Empire, even though it's in their language, somehow it translates to land of Tehuti somehow. But
Right, and there's a
I
Hebrew
want clarification on that.
there's a Hebrew input in that too. Remember, like the Hebrews came and somehow with no contact, were able to like bring Hebrews into Uto Aztecan. So it's somewhere in there. We have to
Yeah.
dig, but it's in there. There was with no contact whatsoever. There was no
Right.
contact.
I know we probably already lost like half the audience with that terminology, but Uto-Aztecan is basically the broader language family, which the Aztecan languages, which Nahuatl is one of those Aztec languages
Right.
come from. So they're part of that family. Nahuatl speakers, for those of you who may not know, I know it's probably all of you, are actually what the Mexica were. The Mexica, which is what the quote unquote Aztec people that we call today actually call themselves. And there were many Aztecs peoples, many Nahuatl speaking peoples in the central region of Mexico. The Mexica were simply the most dominant as an empire and as a nation. So
Right. But according to our most highest Tataman Copper elder brother Amar, he tells us that Mexica and even Uto Aztecan language period are not native to Mesoamerica. Therefore, you don't even have like your language family is not even Amarin. Like your language
yours,
family is like
exactly.
fucking Afro-Asiatic.
Right.
So
Semitic at that.
it's Semitic at that. So I mean,
Hebrew at that.
yeah, ancient Hebrew in the 13th
Right.
century AD, where it would have been extinct. But it doesn't matter because it's always been there, and we've always
Yeah.
been.
Our timelines can be all fucked up, but that's okay.
That's okay because we have memes, and memes can fuck it up even more. So so why not? So it's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. Man.
And
You know,
don't get us started with the with the grandmas like
Grandma told me that I was in a Uto Aztec and Hebrew more.
right. Grandma told me I came from fucking Mars, but I don't
Grandma's
know.
right.
I mean, but hey, that's grandma though. That's grandma.
That's
You know what I'm
grandma.
saying?
Like
That's grandma. Come on
you
now.
respect our grandmas. Like your grandma said, you come from Mars and shit. Like that's true.
You
Like they
come
go,
from Mars, my nigga. You come from Mars. Okay,
like it's
like
true, bro.
if grandma say you come from Mars, you come from Mars.
Like there's no need to go into anything scholarly. We're not going to debate the genetics. We're
No,
not going to get into anthropology. If you come from fucking Mars, my dude, we're on our way to going back to Mars. So we might go back to see your ancestors.
right? Exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, I'm an ancient Hebrew, more Uto Aztec and Montezuma. So like
Right. And didn't you have some Cherokee in you too? So Nubian Cherokee.
I have Yamasee in me. Like these, they don't even know. Like that's why I'm here in this group because I want to also learn, and then I want to, spread my extinct knowledge about extinct stuff. So
Right.
yeah, I have
Exactly.
Yamasee in me. Like no one can tell me I'm not Yamasee.
Right. Even though the tribe went extinct, but yeah,
The
no.
tribe definitely
You're
went
Yamasee.
extinct, but it's like I'm still here, so that means they're not extinct.
Right.
So, so I have lineages that go back all the way down to like, South Carolina and Florida. Like no one can tell me nothing. The Yamasee were like in the
No.
middle of the Atlantic Ocean next to Atlantis at one point. But they don't know that.
Next one.
They don't know that.
Right. They don't know about Moo, bro. They don't know about Moo.
They
Come
don't
on now.
understand that. Like I still speak, the Yamasee tongue. Like that's the ancient tongue. It's similar to
Right.
the click noise of the Khoisan, and the Yamasee and the Khoisan are related. Oh, but they didn't know that.
Right.
They
Right.
don't know that.
No,
So
we don't.
that's something I
Is it? So y'all subscribe to being African only? No, not
no.
necessarily. We know
No, I'm
that
African and at the same time I'm not. I'm American.
right. I mean, so there's different there's different ways of there's different types of identity, right? There is a biological slash genetic identity that is biologically rooted
Mhm.
and scientifically objective, right? So if you share 50% of your DNA with Western Africans and the other 50% with Middle Eastern populations or what have you, Europe, Native American, whatever you like, right? Those are genes that make you who you are biologically speaking, right?
Yeah.
There is there is a racial identity which is also biologically rooted because it's based on phenotypes that nobody can deny. However, how you label a given combination of phenotypes is socially relative. So that will depend on the social, political, geopolitical, uh, geopolitical institution in which you reside in. So the racial classifications, the racial labels for the US will not necessarily be the same as those from Ethiopia and etc. Right?
That's correct.
So that's a different a second type of identity. It is also biologically rooted, just like your genotypes, your phenotypes. There's a certain objectivity to how you look, right? That everybody can agree, but how you label it will be socially relative. Like you might be a black man in the United States standards, but maybe not to Ethiopians, right, or to the Middle East. Like it's all socially relative to the geopolitical, social political standards.
Right.
There is a third type of identity, which is an ethnic identity, or rather, before I move on to ethnic identity, there is a political, a national identity that is a political affiliation. So it doesn't matter if you're genetically from a people who are indigenous to another region. So you could be completely made up of genes.
You can't forget the other one. You know, we have the another identity called the you have the ethno-religious group identity.
Well, right, but that's where I want to go with ethnicity, but with nationality, your national identity is basically meaning that you could have all the genes that are indigenous to Japan, but you reside in Russia and you become a Russian national, or you may even have been born in Russia, and so you are a natural born citizen of Russia. Okay, right. That is your nationality. You are a Russian citizen. That is your national identity. It is a political affiliation. Now, in 2018 politics, you may change that. You can move to another country. You can apply for citizenship in another country and even denounce.
You could even have dual citizenship.
Exactly. You could have dual citizenship. You can renounce your nationality of origin. You can do whatever you want with nationality because, again, it's not tied to biology. It is a political thing. Right?
It will not change your biological makeup by petitioning to get a citizenship from another country like Indonesia. Like you're not going to become Indonesian by relation to your biology, but you will become an Indonesian national.
By
relation to the political affiliation of the country.
Right, exactly. And then there is an ethnic identity, which is a cultural affiliation and constantly shifts direction. So sometimes the ethnic identity of a people is based on political lines, on national borders. So a lot of people nowadays, every time there's a new governmental institution, they always try, all throughout history, they have always tried to shift the ethnic identity of the peoples towards a national one. So Spain takes over Mexico. You have a lot of ethnic groups in Mexico, cultures, subcultures that are tribal and indigenous. They have their own psychology, their own paradigm going on, right? But it is in the best interest of the colonial institution, the colonial borders, to shift that identity towards a national one. So they will implement institutions that will promote that a lot more, so that the indigenous people start identifying with being Mexican, when just a couple decades ago, they probably would have not, because they didn't know what a Colombia was. They didn't know what a Nicaragua was. They were their own ethnic peoples, right? So ethnic identities constantly shift directions. Some people may even identify. See, in the census of I forgot the country in the Middle East, but there's a certain census where you can even identify racially as Muslim, right? And that's because that's like a ethnic identity that to them they are ethno-religious about that type of identity. So ethnicity is nothing more than cultural affiliation.
It's
and sometimes
not to cut you. But not to cut you off, but to expand on that, like
Yeah.
all ethno religions has to do with a combination of ancestral heritage and religious affiliation, just like the Jews. The Jews, whether you guys like it or not, and I know you guys have your conspiracies out there about the Khazar and that the original Jews were black and that they're African American today and all that stuff. Um, Jews, as we understand them today, have an ancestral tie by genetics to the Levant, and then they have a religious affiliation that is tied to the Levant. So it's both tied to the same
Right.
location.
Yeah, they're an ethno-religious group. Where a lot of times when a people get conquered, what happens a lot of times is that we eventually start addressing them by ethno-linguistic standards, right? So nowadays we'll just say Nahua peoples, when back then a couple 100 years ago, they obviously know that they are Nahua speakers, but they would have the Tlaxcalteca, the Mexica, the Otomi, the Pipil people. You had many different tribes, and so to them, their ethnicity was their tribe. Today, they're all grouped as a whole because they're already so few to begin with nowadays, and they have already lost those very specific things that would make them unique as a Nahuatl speaking tribe. Now they all have general pre-Hispanic practices, and so they are generally known as an ethno-linguistic group. So you have the Maya, you have the the Nahua, you have the Zapotec, right? And so these are ethno-linguistic groups. Just like in Africa, you have the Niger Congo, um, and the Bantu peoples, the Cushitic, the Oromo, so on and so forth. Uh, and and then there is the what's the other type of identity? That's four, right? There's genetic, phenotypic, national, ethnic, and I forgot the fifth type of identity that I usually reference. But in either case, that's a very I would think that's a very good breakdown of the different types of identities that you can have. Now he did ask, Labar asked, he said, so exactly, so why trip on people saying that they are what they are? It's all identity politics. I would say, oh, without a doubt, it's identity politics, but they are trying to claim that their biological makeup, their biological identity, whether it be the phenotypic one or the genetic makeup one, they are trying to say that that is one that originated in the Americas and that has always been here. So according to what me and Khalid have learned so far, I mean, we that's what we're trying to break down. How did you
Right. I mean, if you
exactly
would
come
just
to
come
that
on and
conclusion?
explain it to us, it's a lot easier to talk about it than it is to type. So you can come
Yeah,
on, just click on the Google Hangouts link, sign in with your Gmail. It takes like
right,
seconds, and then you can contribute to the conversation.
right. Or tag people who may be willing to. If you got any friends that you think are more adept to speaking about these subjects, please feel free to
Yourself,
tag them.
tag somebody, somebody that you feel would be able to explain to us why the identity politics game, because it isn't just identity. I can identify as a flower pot. It will not change my biological makeup.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So if you got any friends out there, please tag them by all means.
Definitely let us know. Because we're new to this. We're trying to understand. 'Cause we may be autochthonous too. We might be your brother,
Right. We're trying to know.
and like we trying to turn up with y'all. Like turn up, turn up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like we trying to take this movement wherever it goes, over a cliff, into a furnace, chimney, wherever the movement goes. We're with the shits.
Yep. Definitely with the shits.
Definitely with the shoes. Preferably over a cliff because it seems that's where it's going. But we don't know anymore.
Also, if you want to share this to another group that you feel definitely has the answers, please do that too.
Yeah. But you definitely touched on the main points of like ethnicity. Um, there's definitely like we have variations in how people identify themselves culturally, socially, and people have the right to identify however they want, but it has to be within reason. It has to be within logical reason.
Right.
You're not going to be a black man.
And yes, indeed, you may go full delusional, but people don't are not required to accept your
Your delusion.
your delusion, and you
That's
shouldn't
what
be
I'm saying.
mad
Like,
at people and trying to force.
if you're going to make claims, that it should be within at least reason, because then you cannot get mad when people do not co-sign to your delusional practices.
Right, exactly.
That's humanity.
Like so for example, when you hear African Americans claim that Africans say that they are not African, that they saying that the African Americans are not African. Um, a lot of peoples that subscribe to the Aboriginal copper colored theory or whatnot, they seem to interpret that as if the African is saying that they are not biologically African. When in reality, 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying that you're not gonna get that one wacko African that may tell you something like that, even that you are literally not from Africa, period. But 9 times out of 10, I can guarantee you that African means ethnically speaking, culturally speaking, they consider you an outsider because you are a Westerner, you are an American. They consider you an American, and that's why they're saying that you're not African, not because genetically, biologically, you are not
But just
tied to
culturally
them.
and socially, you did not grow up in the same culture or adapt to their lifestyle like they did. You adapted to a Western lifestyle. You speak a Western language. You live in a
Yeah.
Western culture. You're Westernized.
Exactly. And so and now don't get it twisted, don't get it fucked up. You have many remnants of that common ancestral West African culture in you. You may not notice it. It may not be immediately noticeable for you, but it's in the language and it's in
It's in the
many
food.
other parts of the lifestyle.
And even in the
Um,
vernacular too, it's just not. It's a amalgamation of the different kind of African groups that came together during the times of slavery, and you've inherited that, but you do not have.
mhm.
You are not the same as a culturally born African that in a tribe in Western Africa, but you do have.
Right, right.
Of,
Well, so now I'm confused here because see, we thought you were with the Aboriginal tribe, but he's saying so it's okay for Latins, Arabs, Africans to say they are white, but if American blacks do it, then they are delusional. We are not sure what you mean by that. Because that sounds like Moorish Science Temple of America
is he saying that
rhetoric when
Latins are claiming whites in regards to what, like the census? Because
so
like, are you
right.
talking about the census? Because even within the census, like, all right, if they're claiming to be white, anybody can claim anything. You have the right to self-identify in the census. Again, it will not change your biological.
Biological makeup or anything like that, right? So I mean, because I've heard the rhetoric of being white, but I've heard it only through the Moorish Science Temple America perspective, where they claim that it is a legal status, and so legally speaking, they are white. So I'm not sure if that's what you are referring to, Labar. If you could just expound on that a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, now I remember what was the fifth one. The fifth one for ethnic, while we're waiting for him to expand on that, has to also do with, for example, being a member of being a member of a group that shares a common heritage or common culture, but like you're outside of like the national boundaries. Like for
Hmm.
example, an ethnic Turk living in Syria.
Right, right.
You know, like you still are you still are a national, like you still have commonality with with Turkey. Like you have you share the cultural heritage, you share the language, you share all of that, but you live in another country.
Right, exactly.
You know, so
Exactly.
it's yeah, like at least when it comes to like identifying with anything in regards to ethnic, it being ethnic, at least it has some understandings. Like you're either tied by a common language or a common religion, or or it's a mix of the two: ancestral heritage, and religion, or a national heritage. So what would be the
Yep.
national heritage for copper colored people? Like what ties you guys? Are you guys shared by the common language? Because every person that I've ever met that claimed to be Aboriginal only speaks one language, and that's English. So you don't speak any other languages. So are you guys shared by do you guys share like that common language, with that common Germanic language? Does that make you Aboriginal, speaking a Germanic language? Like what is
Mhm.
the cultural connections? What is the
So yeah, yeah, no, I just wanted to read what because he already responded to
oh,
what he means by white, but he's saying that no, he's saying no, it's not through the Morse, it's FBI data, etc. That other races are white on paper.
so it doesn't make sense to
Do you know? I would say no. Do you? I highly doubt that. Do you have a specific citation that it's credible, that a citation that will not lead us to humanswakeup.com or something like that?
oh,
If you have a specific citation for that claim, we would appreciate it because
I feel like he's talking about the census. I mean, I
right,
that's where
right.
he's getting towards.
I mean, if you're talking about the census, listen, I can put on my census racial classification that I am say African. Me in particular, I am actually not in neither ethnically, like not politically, like that's, my nationality is not over there. My culture is not from over there. Phenotypically nor genetically, so it would be nothing more than a a check mark on a piece of paper. I mean that anybody can do that, but that has no ties to.
A lot of people can do it. It has no ties to your ethnicity, your cultural national heritage. So,
Right.
what is the cultural national heritage that unites you, Aboriginals? Like, what is it?
Right. Or like the claim that it's because that's the proper legal status that everybody's supposed to be under. I mean that in itself is a ridiculous claim because uh
That sounds
uh,
more like the
because
Moorish.
exactly. I mean, it definitely sounds like some Moorish shit. You're saying it's not some Moorish stuff, but listen, the Moors are the only ones that I hear talking about black is bad at law, is civilitas mortuus or something like that, and you're civically dead, and that white is the proper one. But they seem to forget again, because they have a constant thing where they think the world revolves around blacks and whites. But they seem to forget that there's other racial classifications in the census. So by you saying that don't check mark black because you'll be considered legally dead. You got to check mark white. Well, what about the Asian man? What about the Middle Eastern man? What about everybody else who is neither black nor white? Are they?
Right. Like, does the Middle Eastern, if he checks black, is he dead? Like, how does that work?
And yeah, and is he supposed to be checking white? If he's supposed to be checking white, why even give all these other options of Asian and whatever and all these other options? And so if black is the dead one, so what is the Asian one? What is the You know,
Or be
you could
the
even
equivalent of like, because there needs to be an equivalent, right? Like, can't just be just black and white and that's it. Like, so if a Asian checks like Middle Eastern, like, does that mean he has white status because Middle Easterns are considered, or not even like if an Asian like checks like North African and some North Africans are considered white, um, does that mean he has like white status? Like,
right. What is the esoteric
what is like
significance of these other racial options that they give us on the
right,
census?
because it's not just white and blacks doing these census, so there needs to be an esoteric option. That's absolutely correct. What is the esoteric, or what is the equivalence? Like,
Right.
you know,
So black. So we got it right according to their teachings. Again, we're just trying to learn here. We're going with their.
their
Okay,
method.
so he says it's not about their methodology, but so he says he doesn't know about the Moors. So I mean, yeah. So if it's not the Moorish perspective, because what we laid out right now, that's the Moorish angle of it. That's what they always come with. So if it's not that, then I don't understand why an African would be checking the 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 option of white on a census
Yeah.
or anything
Or
like that.
any,
As a matter of fact, Middle Eastern people are actually protesting so that they can have an option for them because they don't want to be considered white. So
that's
they want
true.
their
They are
own they want their own check option on the census.
and they want, and a lot of even Egyptian people, a lot of Egyptian people are protesting, and they're stating, and they've given a lot of complaints to the UN specifically in regards to how fair the U.S. census is, that they want to have an option or a category where they should be allowed to be to at least pick something that's closer to,
Mediterranean or something
or
of
at least
that
something that's
nature.
closer to what we understand as black in the United States. There's been protests for that
Ah,
too.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
lot of
yeah, a lot of the Middle Easterns they don't consider themselves white, racially speaking, even, and the white races themselves. I mean, even phenotypically speaking, right? Like that's the reason. Like 1800s. Let's go to 1800s anthropology, where they were taking phenotypes as the criteria, right? They
Mhm.
would even separate the white races into the Mediterranean race.
Mhm. And
What is the other?
African.
No. The white races. They would subdivide them into the Mediterranean race, the Alpine, called the Alpine whites, and what was the third one? A
Well, they
Baltic. I
had.
want to say it's Baltic.
You're talking. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're talking about like what? All right. Well, what you're referencing is like how they separate like Eastern Europeans from Western Europeans.
Right. Yeah. In the 1800s, it was. Oh, actually, it was this. It was Mediterranean, Alpines, and Nordics. So the Nordics are northwestern Europe, and actually, like the whole coast of Western Europe. The Alpine whites were basically all east and most of southern Europe, and then the Mediterranean whites were the ones near the Iberian Peninsula, i.e., aka Europe and Portugal.
Right.
You're talking about Italy, and of course the Sahel. I mean the Maghreb of North Africa and the Middle East. So those would be considered the Mediterranean European subdivisions, phenotypically speaking. That's what they were. Yeah,
Well,
that's what their
North Africa
classification
would
is.
be considered that too, because I mean, even in like
Yeah,
the
exactly. Yeah.
1800s, and yeah, like the 1800s, is like Libya, Tunisia, Morocco, any pretty much anywhere in North Africa would have been considered Eurasian, or i.e., white.
Yeah. Oh no, without a doubt, Labar, because he's saying y'all act like language can't be stripped from you if it's not taught to you early on. You don't
Oh,
come
for
here
sure.
with a certain language. It's a reason why you can be indigenous and not speak your ancient languages. Absolutely, without a doubt. But
No one, we're
even
not
e- even the peoples who have lost their languages, there is always remnants of
There's
their
loan
autochthonous languages in their everyday speech, and even dialect. Their yeah, the way in which they speak. There's always remnants. So, for example, I mean, it must just be some huge coincidence that for the vast majority of African Americans and Afro Latinos, there are always these remnant words from West African languages. Now, you're going to find them from different West African languages because of the fact, or the hypothesis. If you don't want to consider a fact, that's fine. But let's say it's a hypothesis that peoples were brought over here during the 1500s from West Africa of many different tribes. So words are left from many different tribes that are still present in the everyday vernacular of African Americans and Afro Latinos, and whose these words have a West African origin. So we're talking about like okra and God damn it, even the word zombie has a
West Africa, yeah. The word
yeah.
zombie has Western African origins specifically, and isn't it coincidental that it coincides with the fact that the majority of Africans who were, and it's a hypothesis. I'm not sure
Right.
how you feel about like the whole transatlantic slave trade, but
Right. I mean, brother, look, he just said, no, it's not. If we African, then why can't we speak it after generations of being away? Brother, you just said
just said
that
that
a people that a people can be stripped of
from
a
the
language if it's not taught to you early on. You don't come here with a certain language. Is the reason why you can be indigenous to a certain place but not speak the ancient language. You just said that it is possible for you to be stripped from your language, but now you're asking, if you are African, why can you
you
not
need to
speak it?
apply the same logic. Like if you are admitting that you can be stripped from your language and then live in another place, still you still have a ancestral connection to that place where the language originates from. And isn't it a coincidence that in the African American vernacular, as my brother Hunt said, that there's a lot of Western African input. And if you go into the
Right, right.
if you go
Yeah,
into
okay. So he agrees. He said okay, that's fair. So yeah, in African American English, African American vernacular English is what it's called. I'm not an expert in African American vernacular English, but again, it doesn't take too hard to see the. So, for example, the Southern style that they say African Americans speak, that's not by coincidence. I mean, it's not improper English or anything like that. It's simply because it is the input of West African
You have a West African
languages.
pidgin. There's a pigeon a pidgin in the language. Like there's a lot
Uh,
of there's an African input even amongst African Latinos who have been able to come at least keep some kind of Afro Latinos who have been able to keep some kind of cultural continuity with their native ancestry. Also have an Arawakan pidgin in their language, and these pigeons are pidgin are loan words. So you're going to
right.
find loan words in the remnants of the language that used to exist. You'll find a mixture of languages, a mixture of words coming from various different languages depending on your ancestry. So you're going to have a mixture
Right.
among Afro Latinos. You have a mixture of Spanish words. You
Right.
have a mixture of also Native American words as well, like huracan,
Right.
aguacate.
Huracan and all that. Right. Right. Well, I want to touch on that next, but just to stick first with the African input in English. For example, I have a list here. For example, banana, which comes from Wolof via the Spanish and the Portuguese. But banana is actually a Wolof word, and I can confirm that because my girl is actually Wolof, and she she knows a couple of these words that she can trace back to her language. There's also let's see there's a goober, possibly from the Kikongo language. Gumbo, that the gumbo that you love to eat is from Bantu. Okay. Impala is from Zulu. You have Jumbo. That's from Swahili.
Correct.
Kwanzaa, well, that's recent, but it still has a But let's see that they have a macaque, chimpanzee. Tilapia is from Tswana. Um, Zebra is possibly from Congolese, a Congolese language. And like I said, I mentioned zombie before. So you have some words that are of African origin, but even in the in the way of speaking in the dialect, he says, "Why don't you speak an African language?" Well, okay, brother, we're going back to the same thing. You just said that it was possible for a language to be stripped from a people. So if a language can be stripped from a people, why are you asking it?
Apply the same language.
Right, right. So I mean, so apparently, yeah. I mean, what? Why? And again, the reason why we brought it up in the first place is because for all people, we're talking about people whose languages has been stripped. Okay, but we have examples of how multiple demographics, not just the Black Americans, but multiple demographics of peoples who have lost their indigenous languages, nonetheless always have these remnants of their language in their everyday speech of the new language that they have adopted. So why do you think that Mexicans have a plethora of Aztec languages, Aztec words in our everyday speech? I'm
Well,
Mexican, so I will tell you we have tomate, tecolote, okay, aguacate, cacao, okay. We have a whole bunch of words in our foods and in everything that are of Aztec origin. And our dialect, we can actually pronounce these words. We can actually pronounce them with ease. A person of West African heritage, of West African ancestry, right, will not be able to pronounce them with the exact ease because these require very subtle movements of your mouth that adapt to that language, and that apparently we've carried it over.
well, it goes
So
back to what I was saying before, like that African Americans in particular, because they have such a, it's hypothesized that they have such a strong Western African lineage. Their inflections, the way they draw out the words, in regardless of where they are regionally, has a lot to do with their biological makeup and how they pronounce words as well. And that comes from the fact that
right,
they have those loan words, those African loan words that we can see that they use in everyday conversations. Like the way you
exactly.
pronounce things have a lot to do with also your biological makeup, which goes right back to the hypothesis that you are from Western Africa.
Right, right. Now again, now he's saying who said Mexicans were Aztecs. Again, we're not asking you. We're not gonna play the semantical word games. Okay, the people who are generally known as Mexicans from the Mexican nation, which covers a certain geography. Okay, all those people, the northern ones, the central and northern Mexicans, well, Mexicans as a whole, because we all speak Spanish, but there's a lot more words in central and northern Mexico that have their root in the Nahuatl language, Nahuatl, which was spoken by the Aztecs. Okay, so whether you want to consider them Aztecs or not, I'm telling you that it is fairly easy for Mexicans to be able to speak it in that with that ease, that manner, that dialect,
Right.
than than
Even
even an Afro Mexican, okay? Than even an Afro Mexican who would be more towards the East Coast.
I mean, I'm
Um,
from I'm Dominican, and in our language and the way we speak Spanish, because Spanish in itself amongst the diaspora of the Latino diaspora is different from place to place, and that is because you have a indigenous input from loan words that came into the language during colonization. So, for example, Spanish. The Spanish, how they pronounce guava, they pronounce it guayaba. But in my country, because we have the remnants of the language, we don't say guayaba. We say it in the Arawak way, which would be guayaba. That's
Right.
and that comes naturally. That is not something forced, which is something that if you were an African American coming into my country, you would sound like a foreigner trying to pronounce it. It would not sound as if it is indigenous to you. It
Right.
would sound like
Right.
you just learned this word.
Right. He said, "Where do the Mexicans come from? Who contributed to their existence?" Well, I'll jump on that right now, but let me just say this before we move on to this other topic. Another example, just a final example that I want to give is, for example, of the kinfolk of my Quisquillene brother right here, who are the Caribs of the lower Antilles of the Caribbean. They were in Arawak. They were Carib peoples, Kalinago, right? And they in particular do have a community that still survives to this day of Kalinagu peoples, but it is mostly of genetically, biologically, they're mostly of African descent, but their whole culture and everything they have continued. They're a full continuity of those of the yellow, who they used to call the yellow or red Caribs, who were Mongoloid Caribbean islanders, the Aboriginals to that region. Um, so anyway, my point is that the reason why I brought that up is because linguistically speaking, though, because they are of West African descent, they had to morph slightly some of the way in which they would speak the Kalinago language. So instead of saying um, Kali Caliguna or Kalinago, they morphed it into Garifuna. So the K's became G's and the L's became R's. Okay, and that's it. And so they speak all the words and everything else that was originally of Kalinago, right? But they because they are West African descent, it became natural of them to just subtly change some of the letters
Right.
into a West African way of speaking.
Because
Um,
it was not something that was indigenous, at least to them when they arrived.
right. Right, exactly, exactly. So that's a great example. Now, we bring them up because a lot of we don't know how close you are to that community, but I mean, you're in this group, so but a lot of these Aboriginal proponents would claim that the Kalinago that the Garifuna are the real Kalinago and that they are the Aboriginal to that region. When the Garifuna themselves will tell you that their West African side is not, but you cannot tell them culturally speaking. You cannot tell them otherwise though, because they have everything of the indigenous people there. But but um but so so if they're not even saying that, and they're not the only ones. We have the Mesquitos, who are another Afro Native group in where the Mesquitos are again. I think they're
In Belize, I think.
in Belize, yeah, near Belize and Honduras, around that region. And they themselves are also not saying, that their West African side is Aboriginal, but in everyday life they live as an ethnic, indigenous people, because that's who they became. But so they're not saying that. We know real Afro black. We know Black Cherokee. I know Black Seminoles. I know Buffalo Soldiers, which are, they're not a tribe or an indigenous group. That they were hunters for indigenous people. But in either case, we got all these people that know their family history. They're directly tied to these peoples, these communities, and they are also not saying what the internet Aboriginal community is saying. We find a great disparity there. And and so yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way before I answer your question of where. Oh, okay. He's asking new questions, but he said, "Where did the Mexican come from? Who contributed to their existence?" Well, same difference. The vast majority of Mexican population is composed of um, um, the southern region, the more you go into the southern region of Mexico, the more indigenous genes are going to make up those communities. The more you go into the central and northern regions of Mexico, you're going to get a 50-50 split of Spanish and Native American admixture. And then in the southeast coast, there are communities of Afro Mexicanos there. So you're going to have that input radiating out of that region. So that's just the demographics for Mexico. But the same thing applies to Colombia. You know, you have an African input, the Spanish input, and the Native American input. Brazil is the European input in Brazil is not from Spain, is from Portugal. So you're going to have Portuguese input, African and Native American. And so on and so forth. There are some islands. There are some islands that aren't even Spanish or Portuguese. They're actually French or English. Belize is actually English, and Belize is right there next to Mexico, and yet English is there.
You're going to have a plethora of three races. You're going to have the European and the African, and the African is overwhelmingly more dominant. Only because that's the group that outnumbered both groups. You know, whether you believe that slavery happened there or not, we do know that there was at least according to records, on the island of Hispaniola, you had a transfer of 700,000 slaves.
Yep.
Africa, the Ivory Coast, and Guinea. So that's the majority. That's the dominant groups there. When you go to Trinidad, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, you are majority going to see these people, or you're going to see a mixture of these people, mulattoes, so on and so forth.
Right. And then, you know, during the colonial era, there was even an influx of Middle Eastern, Indian, from India, and West Asian groups coming in because during the 1800s, because as slavery was made illegal, they resorted to hiring, quote unquote hiring, right? these these people from
East Asians, Chinese people were brought in as well to contribute to like labor and construction. They were transient. They imported transient workers from these places to build for them, to be able to contribute to the society. So you're going to have that's why you have Chinese Jamaicans. Like you're going to have, and then there's people that immigrated themselves who and added more to the already diverse melting pot that you see in South America, in certain parts in South America and the Caribbean. So you're gonna have these contributions.
Yep, and so you know the demographics of a lot of the Americas period, wherever you are, is just one big melting pot of peoples. So why can you accept that they are both? They are saying the same thing. They saying the same thing. They saying. Well, I'm assuming you're talking about the Aboriginal proponents and the Afro natives that we know. No, I mean they're not exactly saying the same thing. I mean the Aboriginal proponents actually resort to calling the Mongoloid Native Americans Siberian invaders, Spaniards.
The Aboriginals,
I mean, you know,
don't claim that they're mixed. While Afro natives such as myself and others, we acknowledge that we are a product of mixtures that contributes to our overall ethnicity.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, so we exactly. The Afro natives are not in denial of the historical data and their lineage, what their lineages tell them, what they know as a common fact. Whereas the Aboriginal proponents have I mean, they say they're not African. Period. They say they've always been here, and so on and
There
so
was
on.
a population replacement, and that they were actually the Aboriginals before the Mongolians came in and invaded everything. And we'll say, for example, that
Right.
that culture is actual, which isn't of African so-called Aboriginals that claim, Cherokee and all these tribes are usually tribes that mixed with African peoples historically.
What was that? What you say, bro?
Um,
Khalid?
yeah, can you hear me?
You're cutting off. You're like coming in and out. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were cutting off, bro.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. It's still a bit choppy, but go ahead.
Hear me?
It's choppy. It's choppy. Anyway, I wanted to welcome Melvin. He joined us. He's been here for like 5 minutes already. How you doing, Melvin?
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Can you hear? Can you guys
Yeah,
hear me? Because
you
this shit
sound
is kind of.
yeah, you're lagging a bit.
Yeah.
You're lagging a bit.
Yeah.
Um, Melvin, you got
Yeah. Good.
any input? Anything you want to say?
Good conversation. Good conversation. I came in when you guys were talking about the linguistics aspect. All I want to say for anybody who has questions about that is look up. It's called nasalization. When you look that up, you understand like certain vowels have to be spoken through the nose as well as the mouth in order for
Mm-hmm.
them to be properly pronounced. So, for instance, there are vowels spoken in the English language that are strictly oral, and by oral meaning there's no nasalization. They're just spoken with the mouth only. Like when you speak vowels in the English language, you're not breathing air through your nose to speak the vowel. You're using just your mouth and your tongue, and of course your lips. Whereas with a lot of the native languages and a lot of African languages, they use both. There's a difference.
Mm.
That's just level one phonetics. Like you got to start there, and then you can work your way up. But that's just
Mm.
phonetics. Like
What
that's just
is it called
something.
again? What is it
It's
called again?
called it's called nasalization, or for
Nasalization.
short, yeah, or for short, it's nasal vowels.
Ah, okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, yeah,
Mm.
that makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
That makes perfect sense. Now, I did read Labar. You said scholars said it because I would assume I'm not sure exactly at what point what point we were talking that you were alluding to. But if you're alluding to scholars that may have said that they saw black Native Americans during the colonial era, there's a caveat to that is extremely important to differentiate. So there are primary references made by the colonists themselves. So here we are talking Christopher Columbus. We are talking Hernan Cortés. We are talking Bartolome de las Casas. We are talking about colonists who were actually there describing these peoples, right? And then there are starting around the mid 18th century, which is the 1700s, mid 1700s, you start seeing an academic study of the past, which is at this point now 200 plus years, right? And so it is then from that point forward. So now we're talking like Rafinesque, which is oftentimes cited by Aboriginal proponents, or I forgot the other Mexican anthropologists, but they constantly cite these anthropologists of the 17th century. I mean, 18th century, 18th and 19th century. And those are no longer primary sources. They are no longer the colonists that were walking around interacting with the indigenous people, right? And so the ones that were actually interacting with the indigenous people, um, those 9 times out of 10 they were not saying what Aboriginals say that they said. So, for example, you have the common reference. Ivan Van Sertima said that Leo Weiner said that Christopher Columbus said. Okay, that's not a citation. That's not professional. A professional way to do it would be for you to Google Christopher Columbus uh, works yourself and go to the exact page number and text where he supposedly said what you're saying that he said. Because people saying that Ivan Van Sertima said, that Leo Weiner said, that Christopher Columbus said, that's not how you do it. Okay, you have to go to the actual documents themselves. And I personally have a bunch of quotes and the links to the documents of Christopher Columbus, where he is nowhere near saying anything of these people, the indigenous people that he was meeting, being black. And in fact, he says the exact opposite. Bartolome de las Casas is somebody who said, he was also a colonist, but he was paraphrasing Columbus's words by saying that Columbus said that the indigenous people said that there was black skinned people coming in from the southeast, right, with gold tipped spears, right. Now, any scholar of the Caribbean history will tell you, and the indigenous people that are like the Garifuna, well, because the Mongoloid indigenous people have been extinct, but every historian from that region themselves will tell you, first of all, gold is also indigenous to South America. So gold is found in South America. The Caribbean peoples were constantly being visited, indeed, from the southeast, but that was the southeast from Guyana, from central South America, not the southeast from freaking Africa, which is hundreds of miles away, right? And in canoes at that. I mean, the visitors that were visiting the Carib peoples in the Caribbean islands were the South Americans that were visiting them were doing so in canoes. They didn't have advanced ship technology or anything like that, and they were trading gold with them. They were trading gold with them, and they had all these peoples had a tradition of body paint. They will constantly be painting their bodies constantly. So with the main colors were yellow, white, red, and black. Those were the main colors that were used. There were other colors, but mostly those were the colors that were constantly used, and they were constantly using body paint and going to war with each other and meeting each other, trading with each other, so on and so forth. So that is what is most likely meant by Columbus said that the Caribbean people said that they saw that black skinned peoples have visited them to trade gold with them from the southeast. That's what is meant by that. But that's as much as you're gonna get. Other than that, to like give you some leeway or something to be able to conjure up a alternative history hypothesis out of that. But for the most part, Columbus made it very clear that these people were the exact opposite of being black. They said they had straight hair. They wore their hair down to their to their shoulders, and they had eyes like Asiatics, and so on and so forth. So he made a lot of descriptions. If you want the references for that, I can provide them for you. But that's just Columbus. Cortez is another one who described these peoples very well. He was not saying nothing of them being looking like Ethiopians or whatever. There was one guy God damn it, what is his name? Verrazano. Verrazano's the one from North America. Now we're talking U.S. territory. I think Florida. Who said that these people resembled Ethiopians, but he was saying it in their skin color. Okay, he was not saying it in their facial features or in their stature, body limb proportions, skull